What's up, guys? Back into another reaction to the Berserk manga, this time with volume 41, the second couple of chapters, the Cherry Orchard and the Ravine. Depending on how it goes, I might end up doing the next chapter, because it looks like these are only, this one's 20 pages, this one's 22 pages, and this one's only 20 pages, so might end up doing the 3 chapters today, and then that'll be the last 3 chapter video I'll be covering for Berserk. But interesting stuff last time. We focused a little bit on Falconia again. Like I've been saying, not as interesting as the whole Casca situation, especially how we ended off the last chapter, which we'll have a look back at in a minute. But like I said, some more interest in Falconia, just kind of economics and such going on. As well as, what's her name? This princess, I forget her name now. Charlotte. Having some sexy time with Femto. But again, really enjoyed this second one here. It was all looking really nice and awesome again. We kind of skipped over what happened last time with Guts and Casca. She just kind of like fainted, I think, and she was going to meet him again after a bit of brawling with Cedro, but and these, of course, these I can't remember what they're called, like little golem suits of armor things. But yeah, she ended up fighting a Cedro, which was pretty cool. But again, they were gonna go over to Guts, but again, like her past has kind of stopped her as she kind of broke down again. This shot explains that perfectly. This shot explains everything I'm talking about right here. And yeah, again, they can't be together, which is, yes. Like, what would you rather have? Would you rather be able to be with Casca, but her be Elaine and not really like you? Or would you just not, would you rather have her back to normal and never really be able to see her again? I think personally I'd choose that second option of having her back to normal and not seeing her again. I think just knowing that she's fine out there would be better than just being a shell of a person. But yeah, really enjoyed this shot here. Again, it's almost like a shot you'd see from Elaine's perspective, in my opinion. But yeah, we've got this really pained look on the face of Guts here. More pain and emotion in this shot than any physical pain he's ever been in the series, I feel. Yeah, we had the fucking Skull Knight appear right at the end, so we'll see what comes of that. Do let me know what you guys think about these 3 chapters, or maybe 3 chapters, I don't know how it goes, in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. Let's get into the Cherry Orchard. Be calm. Drink that slowly. Again, it's so weird how the title chapter is on a different page. Why is that? If anyone can let me know. Thank you. I put on another shameful display. Don't worry about it. You only just awoke from a long, long nightmare. For now, you mustn't push yourself. When I try to touch on the past, it's like I've suddenly been brought back to that place. I see it all over again. Casca, don't. Or else you'll... Ugh. His face, his voice. I can't handle it. A terrifying shadow gets in the way. Casca, it's alright. I just made her sleep. Now you two, go train. I'll keep an eye on her. I know you're concerned, but all we can do right now is burn some incense and let her sleep peacefully. Yes, but you have a task at hand, do you not? 2 very different drawings of Barney's face right here. This one's very bold and outlined. This one quite faint, actually. Looks a lot lighter. Oh, all right. Oh, she relies on you so much, even in sleep, like a security blanket. Never. No such thing. I'm no such thing. Ah, yes. For your rich mage life that's about to begin. Here, although it's one of my old things. Ah. Here they are. Lady Farnese, finally. Oh, shit. Let's go. Yeah, oh, yeah, that definitely is an outfit of outfit of hers, isn't it? Whoa. This little weird pine coat thing on the end. Okay. We've got Witch Farnese here. Jesus. I like it. I won't say it suits her just yet. We need a little bit more time for that, but it looks good. Oh, apologies, guys. This hat doesn't seem right for me. You'll get used to it. Every witch has a hat. Come on now, Farnese. It looks quite good on you too. It's all flashy. On plain old you. But a beginner like me, this get-up knitted from cherry blossoms. Oh really? Knitted from cherry blossoms. Wow. It's too elegant. I feel pressured. Although it is nice and light. It's a boon from Danan, so you'll just have to accept it. Maybe this is like also, I know it's like a hand-me-down, but maybe it's like a hand-me-down, like a quite how do you describe this? In a complimentary way of like, oh, you not saying like she could surpass her or anything, but like in terms of like, yes, you're good enough to wear. I don't think it was like that, but maybe it's one of the things like again, but you're good enough to wear something a supreme magician wore, supreme witch or whatever. I don't know, I feel like there is some kind of like future aspect in the giving of this, if that makes any sense. Like saying she'll have a successful future as a witch. It's surfy at the back here, man. There you are, newcomers. I apologise that we're late on our first day. It's alright. Danan filled me in on the situation. First, I want you to know your true abilities, such as how much you've learned of spells and rituals. True abilities, you said? It hasn't been long since I started learning magic. You want me to show you spells? You don't have to keep taking your hat off. I still only know the formation of the four. Okay, demonstrate for me. Eh? Mistress. Here you go. Don't embarrass Shirka, apprentice. Do your best. Don't worry. Your formation of the four really did fully protect everyone. I'll vouch for that. There. Ready? Oh, okay, here goes. Hold on. She's not drawing a magic circle. Not knowing about magic circle, she's a novice, right? And she's got no wand. And becoming a mage as an adult in the first place. What's the problem? That's the problem with folks outside the island. Think she can do the formation of the four? No way. It'll just glow a little dimly at the most. Oh, these guys are talking way too much shit, aren't they? Look at her sitting down there. Proper mage like. I don't think it's too old to really start anything. I mean, it genuinely is like if you're going to like being a professional athlete and such, you do have to like be. You'll see a lot of like the top professionals do start their kind of journey from being a child. You don't have to. Like I started playing football myself at like 13, 14 years old, where everyone else played it from like 5, 6. So I was obviously crap when I started out, but I improved really fast in a short period of time. I was still developing during those years, so it's good. But I feel like if you do like start like 18, 19, then you pretty much got no chance of being a professional athlete in that kind of region. But there's plenty of stuff you can pick up at any time, especially kind of educational wise, I feel. But yeah, well, can't wait to prove these guys wrong. Whoosh. Huge. Pretty. Oh. Look how vivid it is. Let's go, Farnies. And now look at their faces. Look at Shirka's face here. Farnies, you say it hasn't been long since you took up magic, but how long has it actually been? Yes, sir. About 3 months, maybe. The formation of the 4 in 3 months? And as an adult? It usually takes a year. Wait, isn't it impossible for adults with no prior training to use magic? What is up with your companion? But wow, it took me 3 years before I could do it. She found herself placed in unique circumstances. She had an amazingly outstanding mistress. Lady Farnies, this is complicated. Good job. Had me nervous. And now, on to Shirka. Can I ask you to cast some spell? Yes, sir. Then I will. Summon a spirit. I will call a spirit of darkness from that tree hollow. Oh, a spirit in a place like that? Do you sense it? Oh. And aren't dark spirits dangerous? I was going to say, like, why are we... Sounds pretty dangerous. Like, why are we doing something dangerous right here? Sounds like a bad idea. Got under control though, Shirka. Trust her. Again, a summoning with no magic circle? Whoosh, off she goes. Yeep! I am a nameless shadow, a hollow blackness. I shall grant the gambling girl's request, in exchange for a bounty, the land. Huh? Wait, what? Whoa! Oh shit, what happened to this guy? I knew this was a bad idea. What the fuck? Did he just eat this kid? It just went full, what's his name? His bloody name. Pennywise. I went Pennywise on this kid. Stay away! Huh? Wait. Dark. I can't see anything. Oh, it's just surrounded him. Ah! He's now a shadow monster. My apple. It ate his apple as well. Wow. Yeah, it ate his apple. Unlucky, bro. Got Farnies in the background. Tremble with fear. Oh, we've seen her do a lot more scary and impressive stuff than that, haven't we? She's pretty good. Oh. She is. I'm sorry, are you alright? I can't believe we'd choose that. We'd choose to, unfortunately, have a kid get taken over by a shadow rather than anything not too kind of fancy. No, we'll summon the shadow and we'll take over this little kid here. I'm sorry, are you alright? Yeah, but my apple. Hey, Shirka, what's going on with you? Summoning a spirit without even using a magic. Summoning a spirit without even using a magic circle? Oh yeah. And that was a spirit of darkness, yeah? What was such a dangerous thing doing in a place like that? I made sure to have a corresponding link in my subconscious. Honestly, that sounded just like a like an advert, like a YouTuber advert or something. Like, I've made sure to put the corresponding link in the description. I made sure to put have a corresponding link in my subconscious. Magic circles simply help guide you in that way. So you got combat experience. When we faced danger on our journey, there was no time to engrave detailed icons or runes, so I made do using this method. As for spells, I had to borrow the power of whatever spirits were concealed in that place, so perhaps I've developed a knack for locating them. Danger is unavoidable with powerful spirits, but we've been rescued by them many times. I also once borrowed the power of a spirit of darkness, and so... But that little spirit is no dangerous being. It seems it's always watched with envy from that hollow as you've trained here. A shut-in, huh? Yeah. It would be happy if you offered it an apple or something, and maybe played tag with it. Blindfolded tag? Oh, that's nice. Maybe we'll turn it from a dark spirit into a nice light spirit or something. Little jealous little kid from the hiding in the trees. Ah. Ho ho! Nicely done. Looks like you visitors will prove to be a good motivation for the village's inhabitants, so accustomed to peace. Everyone learned well from this approach to magic that's been put to the test in the outside world. Yes, sir. Now that I must offer you something in return. Let me see. In that case, great guru, I have a request. Such as? Would you mind teaching me healing magic? Sure, I think that would be like a perfect speciality for Farnies, wouldn't it? Healing magic just fits her so well, I feel like. Like we saw the protection magic with the barrier. I feel like stuff like that, just like she's a support role, isn't she? Especially ways to heal the mind. Farnies, a caregiver witch, huh? So that's so you. That's what I said. That's what I said, Evalira. It's safe to say the making of medicines is the original duty of mages. Yeah, alchemists and such. That's a bit of a point in Spice and Wolf right now. Alchemists. Yeah, that probably was what, like, which, again, I don't know too much about the history of witches and so on. I know a little bit here and there, but I imagine it might have actually come from something like these witches made potions and like drugs and such to take people's pain away and to heal them and such, and then they were that was branded as magic and branded as witches from the kind of drugs, and like you always have that like witch kind of melding pot. That was probably actually just like early scientists and early science and again alchemists and such that like test different materials and such. Again, it wouldn't always go right. Like I did study a bit of like medicine history, and that's obviously got nothing to do with like witches and such, but in that medicine was always a kind of again, it was trial and error and a few senses. Like they'd do some ruthless stuff, they'd have to experiment on corpses a lot of the time, and a lot of the time a lot of the time it was illegal. I think the government and such would give them corpses and people to test on at points, but again, I think like there was quite a few opportunities, and like up and coming scientists and such would take corpses from recently dead graves and such, and bury them, unbury them, and experiment and such, which was again very illegal. So perhaps they were also kind of like branded as like wizards and witches, like taking the dead and experimenting on dead people and such. Like you can see how that kind of became a bit of a thing, but you can also see how stupid humanity was to like call people witches and stuff. And it was actually just scientists. And when it comes to healing the mind, I know just the person. Right here. Oh yeah. Dana? When it comes to that, I'll lend a helping hand. Let's work hard together for Casca's sake too. Oh, and help me with the cleaning sometimes. Add maid to the list. Well, that just makes sense, doesn't it? Now then, Shirka. Yes, sir? Would you be interested in communing? Not with native, not with native nature spirits, but with the daimons of a deeper domain? Daimon. Sounds like demon, but daimons? Wow, aren't you usually taught that when you become a full-fledged mage guru? Daimons. Their eyes. You should accept, Shirka. Not all diamonds are astral world beings. Some were once living humans, heroes, and even some who were magic users. My old friend who aided you in your shared dream is one of them. Oh, master. I love this drawing of Shirka right here. Over there, her hands resting on top. This is a lovely panel. By all means, I gladly accept. Alright then. Well, welcome once again, Shirka. Thank you. You're really good. And you too, for an outsider. And an adult at that. Much obliged. Guts just trailing by the cliff. What am I supposed to do? Here he is. What you see at the end of the journey. What cryptic shit. Where's the end of that sentence though? Oh, it's just not going to come just yet. Oh, here it is. It isn't necessarily just a beautiful sight. Well, thanks for telling us that earlier. He did already kind of give us heed about Casca's situation earlier on, so he can't complain, but does that mean the end of the journey is near? What you see at the end of the journey, perhaps this is just the end of a journey. At the end of the journey, it isn't necessarily just a beautiful sight. I wonder what that is in Japanese, like just a beautiful sight. It's not something you hear very often in English. Maybe it's like such a beautiful sight or just a beautiful sight. Maybe it is a beautiful sight. It's not just a beautiful sight, but it's a beautiful sight, but it's got some darkness in there, which is a good explanation of the situation, to be fair, with like Casca. I mean, it's a beautiful sight seeing her back, but again, the sadness is that she can't actually interact with Guts, see him. So again, I'd take that if I was Guts. I'd take that personally. Don't get me wrong, it'd still feel bad, but I'd be happy. I'd be. I mean, I know Guts' emotion and such was very much on display in the last chapter, but again, personally, I'd be quite happy still. Maybe not quite happy. It's like such a positive that we got her back. The negative of her not seeing me would actually like be very much outweighed by that personally. Sorry guys, I got like a bit of dust or something on my nose, and my nose is so big I can see. What is it? What is it I've got on my nose? I don't know. It must be like hair or something because I can't see it on my phone either. But now you guys can see it. It's still there. I don't know. Maybe it's just my nose growing. I think noses do continue to grow over time, so perhaps that's what it is. Is she? Fucking hell, I didn't realise Farnese was that young. I knew she was reasonably young, but I thought it was like early kind of mid-20s. 19, fucking hell. So this guy says Skull Knight's eyes look sad. Is it this shot you're talking about? I mean, they only look like that because it's a downward. Like that's just where the shot's from. Like if it was, as we see here, from head on, he looks absolutely normal. I feel this guy's, yeah, he's mixed up the camera angle with him looking. I'm not sure a skeleton can look sad. I'm not sure it's possible. Why is everyone saying that? It's literally just the angle he's at. I mean, actually, no, I don't know. I feel like it's just the angle he's at. But to be fair to these people, it does kind of look like when. Again, it shouldn't be the case because it's a skeleton head, but that does kind of that is just like the indentation in his head, I think. But that does kind of look like when a human like tears up and like they have these kind of marks on their forehead. But again, I feel like this is just the angle that he's at. Again, how come these comments are getting many more likes than the actual chapter itself? I've never seen this in like anything like Twitter, YouTube. You never see a comment get more likes than the actual video. Oh, what's going on there? True. Burning witches to becoming the. That would be. Do you know what? As much as I do love Farnice, that would be quite the ironic end to her story, wouldn't it? To then be burnt by the Holy See. I don't think they'd do that anymore, though. I don't know. I don't know what the Holy See are up to right now. We hear a bit about them with the Falconia stuff and that, but maybe they are out there still burning witches. Who knows? They should have better things to do now that all these like myths and legends and shit are here in the world. But who knows? Again, humans are stupid, so. Well, again, this person says this. I struggle to read this, to be fair, but it says like it might be the end of Guts' journey, but not the end of Berserk. I mean, I feel like the end of Berserk is seemingly quite close. Yeah, that would be interesting. I couldn't really imagine a Berserk without Guts. Is the thing. I think they could do it, and it would still be really good. But they'd have to choose a very interesting person to. Like, it's hard shoes to fill if you're taking Guts out of the story and then expecting viewers to resonate / like someone as much as Guts. Like, that's a very tough thing to do. But I like I said earlier, I feel like it's more so the fact that this is the end of the journey of Guts getting Casca back. Now it's a kind of new journey to what end? There is none really. Like maybe this is the end of the journey because I don't know. We haven't really got anything else to do in terms of people wanting to get back at Griffith and such. Like the whole point of this journey with Casca is the fact that he's chosen Casca rather than getting revenge on Griffith. So that I personally don't think it would be a good direction to take. Like I would love to see it. I'd love to see Guts take on Femto and them go at it and such. But I feel like story wise, the best thing is again just he's made his choice, and it was a good choice. Although again, the outcome isn't quite as beautiful. Isn't necessarily a beautiful sight, but it is a sight. I think again, maybe Guts should look from a different perspective because from his perspective, it's not as beautiful a sight as he wished it would have been. But from everyone else's, it's a pretty beautiful sight. Casca being back. Imagine that though. Imagine this. A whole of Berserk is actually just a prologue to something bigger. I think that would be quite stupid. Actually, that would be quite stupid. Imagine having a prologue. This what? How long has Berserk been going since like the 90s, I think, or like late 80s or something like that. I forget exactly. But imagine like a 40-year prologue. That would be legendary. Don't get me wrong. Not sure it'd be good, but it'd be legendary. First, first book release date. Yeah, 1990. So yeah, 30 odd year prologue. That would be quite hilarious. Well, prologue to what? What can you do that ups this? Again, it would be quite stupid if that was the case, because whatever would come after would not up this. But I feel like that's maybe one of those Vinland Saga things. A lot of people really love season 1 and didn't like season 2 nearly as much. So maybe it's like, if you're in that group of people, you might actually like, I don't know. I personally, I really like season 1 of Vinland Saga. Love season 1, but season 2 was like the best season and my favourite season of Vinland Saga. I thought it was spectacular. Got me very emotional during many points. It was very different. So yeah, maybe it could do a bit of a like Vinland Saga. Who knows? It already has done a little bit. Like I say, a Vinland Saga, like Vinland Saga came before Berserk, but you guys know what I mean. It kind of already has done a bit of Vinland Saga in terms of it switched massively from horror and these disgusting elements to disgusting elements and such still, but more fantasy. I feel like it also, like, I've just finished I'm not 100%ed Resident Evil Village yet, but just finished Resident Evil Village. I've 100%ed all of the main game. I've now just got to do the mercenaries and the DLC, which I imagine the mercenaries is going to be very difficult. Always usually is. But it kind of reminds me of going from Resident Evil 7 to 8 in terms of like Resident Evil 7. I really love both of them. I can't say which one's my favourite, but it's kind of going from like there was a little bit of horror elements in Resident Evil Village, but not nearly as many as in 7, because I think they heard that in Resident Evil 7 people got too scared to complete the game. People just like couldn't continue it, and I wouldn't say it was majorly scary, but again, I've been a big Resident Evil / horror fan for a long time, so I'm not really one to actually give my opinion on what's scary or not. But it was a really big change from that really horror element, like loads of horror references and such in Resident Evil 7, and then going to 8, which was again much more fantasy, again a little bit like Berserk, more fantastical, some horror segments, but mostly it was just like really badass, cool kind of like horror, slightly inspired kind of segments. I really like Resident Evil 8. I loved it. I've done 3 playthroughs, again one on normal, one on easy, which which was knife only. I've done like all of the achievements on that one run, like knife only, less than 3 hours, or like everything. Then I just finished Village of Shadows yesterday, and it wasn't really that tough actually. The toughest part was the start, for sure, the Lycan attack. The first 10 minutes or so was definitely some of the hardest. The Arias fight was difficult as hell, and the fight I struggled with the most was actually the Heisenberg fight. I just couldn't beat him for like an hour, but finally managed to do it. Do you know what my MVP for that run was? I had the unlimited grenade launcher, and the MVP was the unlimited flashbang rounds. They were the Heisenberg segment at the end. If any of you guys have played this, obviously just skip if you haven't. That Heisenberg segment at the end, just before his boss fight, the whole area of his is an absolute nightmare. So luckily I found out about how good these flash grenades were against all the enemies there. Yeah, not too much else in the comments, so we'll move on to what might be the final chapter for today. We'll have to have a look. I might end up doing the 3 chapters in the next video next week. But yeah, we've got the Ravine. It's you. I am your father. Imagine that actually is the case. It's definitely not. King guys were lived ages ago. as we are led by causality. You and your weighty way of talking. So, how about it? While back on that moonlit beach, you gave me that gracious warning. You know what, one interesting thing I am thinking about right now is the fact that what goes against what I said earlier about the Casca Griffith decision. Maybe it is inevitable we will have Guts versus Griffith, because I'm now just thinking, why would Skull Knight place an investment upon Guts if he was just to live with Casca happily ever after and so on? How would this aid Skull Knight and what he wants to achieve? It wouldn't. Maybe he is just helping him out of the goodness of Skull Knight's heart. Maybe he's just that nice a guy, but I don't believe so. I feel like Skull Knight is here for a reason. He knows the future in some manner of sense, doesn't he? Like the way that he spoke to Guts before and called things from ages before it happened. He knows the current of causality. So again, why would he be so kind of close to Guts? But as close as anyone is to Guts, apart from Casca and the crew, I guess now. But why would he place so much investment upon him if Guts was ultimately just to peter out to nothing and live a peaceful life with Casca? I mean, it's almost guaranteed that Guts has some major part in the future of the universe. But maybe I'm just talking rubbish, who knows? Looks like I didn't need it after all. As you can see, I made it to this island without losing any more pieces. Although the trip was a little rough. That was luck. Thanks. But don't relax your guard. Causality has yet to converge. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? It's been a long time. Your Majesty. Your Majesty. King Isaac. That's quite ominous. Causality has yet to converge. No, is Skull Knight along the lines of what you go by now? So he knew him as King Isaac. Maybe these guys are mages. They've got, as we see with Shirka, contact with these spirits and such. Like, did he contact him? Interesting. Majesty. Yeah, Guts picked up on that. I recall your face. Your Vid's son. My name is Gedfring. When I was a child, my father brought me along for several audiences. Now I find myself in a governing role for the village. A clever youngster has come far in the world. I thank you. Hey, wait a minute. Just how old are you? Oh ho. That question's meaningless for one whose flow of time differs. Little side eye by Skull Knight. Fucking bastard. Keep my words stronger. I see you and Sir Knight are already acquainted. Yeah, like it or not. He's sort of a herald of misfortune. Like it or not, eh? Is that how it is? What do you say, Sir Knight? How about we go along with the Black Swordsman and pay a visit to Hanar? Who's Hanar? A dwarven craftsman skilled with his hands. Okay. It's his expertise that produced your armour, as well as Sir Knight's. Oh, really? So, we're actually going to give Guts something better than this fucking Berserker armour? Because Sir Knight's, what we call him now, seems to work pretty well for him. Bag of bones. Okay, so the creator of the Berserker armour is here, of all places. Interesting. You do well to listen to whatever he has to say. Very well. It will also be a chance to repair the armour. Okay, little side thing with Skull Knight. I'm liking this. I'm liking it. Imagine sleeping on a tree. How dangerous is that? Like, move an inch and you're falling. Bad idea right there. Is that? Relax and envision the broom sweeping the bar trees away. You can do it, Shirka. Good luck. I know how she feels seeing everyone flying. The first thing any magic user wants to do is try it out. Yeah, clearly, everyone would love to fly, wouldn't they? But serious, trait-laced kids aren't really cut out for that. Relax your shoulders. Typically, the first to fly are always the carefree, or those who get easily carried away, as bar times find them unapproachable. It's still all I can do just to float a few inches off the ground. Come on, you gotta be more light and fair and airy. You're like a flower petal on the wind. Empty your mind. Take it easy. Not serious, not careful. Which is not Shirka really, is it? Carefree, easily carried away. Does Shirka get easily carried? No, I wouldn't say Shirka gets easily carried away, no. So yeah, it doesn't seem like she really fits the mould too well for this, does she? This girl that we saw in the tree definitely does. Oh, here it comes. Sort of feels like I'm floating. Literally just like vibrating the broom. What? Hey, Morda? You can get the hang of this sort of thing. It's faster if you just take off for real. Eh? So, away we go. Kidnapper! Hey! Come on, stop doing whatever you please, Morda. Like I said, she fits that mould very nicely. Hey, keep your eyes open. I can't. I like this shot here as well. Witches. You've flown as a luminous body, haven't you? What are you so scared of now? This is not the same thing. If I fall, I'll wind up dead. Look. The wind feels nice. Flying on the wind has its own appeal. After all, it's halfway like a dream when you're a luminous body. So time for you to see what it can really feel like in full. Wow. Not to brag, but when it comes to broom handling, I'm the best on the island. Again, I could see that. I could very much see that from the little we've seen of this woman. Whenever those pedantic old men bore me to sleep with their lectures, I tear away like this. You give off a different vibe than the rest of the island's mages, Morda. A bit roguish. More or less. Everybody holding hands and getting along isn't my cup of tea. But look at that. That's Guts. And also the Knight of Skeleton. Where does this ravine lead? Where the island's strays hang out. No matter how bubbly and florid the island's queen is, there are some who don't vibe with that. They prefer semi-darkness to sunspots like that spirit you summoned earlier. Incidentally, my mistress is among them. Oh, interesting. So her teacher is actually among... Interesting. Why's your companion going with old Master Gedfring to a place like that? And there's that knight I've never seen. How about it? Doesn't it make you wonder? Let's go take a look. That's more like it. Fucking hell, look at this place. Yeah, some little goblin things here. Having a little fish. Oh shit. A bunch of those wicker men. Nice little froggy. I do love a frog. Certainly is different from Elfhelm up above. If anything, it's more like Kleepoth. This is what attacked us. Right, wicker men. Scary face wicker man there. They say long ago, when this land was attacked by a large nation on the continent, captured enemy soldiers were sacrificed and these were sent into battle. I suppose it was a disaster for you guys. But look, down here they're just giant rotten scarecrows. They've got to break out the old tools now and then. Weren't magic users originally so feared as witches and sorcerers that people hesitated even to speak of them? Compared to that village is like a playground. As provincial. Google that one. Provincial. Provincial. How do you say that? Provincial. 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 What is that, by the way? What language is that? Provincial. Sorry, I keep saying it. I'm going along with what the woman's saying. Of or concerning a province of a country or empire. Okay. Nothing I need to worry about is what that tells me. You have so much energy. It's champing at the bit. It's chomping at the bit is maybe what it's meant to say. One of my companions is that way. Man. Sure, Cedro isn't getting too much time in these chapters, is he? I'm still waiting for his kind of like arc, if you know what I'm saying, in terms of still haven't seen him using that dagger thing too usefully or anything, especially not like the level of Serpico. So we need like I feel like we need something for a Cedro soon. Maybe he's just not a fan favorite or something, and he doesn't get the recognition. But I'd love to see a bit more from a Cedro. He has been heavily involved for a long period, so maybe I feel like that just amplifies it though. The fact that we haven't really had anything too substantial from a Cedro in all this time is a little bit crazy. Again, not on the level of Shurka or Farnese at all, and Shurka was introduced a lot later. You could argue Serpico, but again, Serpico got at least a little bit kind of like with him and his wind sylphs and such, whereas the Cedro hasn't had much of anything. Maybe it's because again he's almost like a little Guts in a way. He's not really like Guts, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, and I'd just like to see more. Wrong. I'm not all bratty like that. Stop. Oh. Mistress. Oh. It's you, Morda. A little mushroom long-nosed witch. This is the classic look of a witch you'd expect to see. Oil on the nose. Long nose. Long hair. Old woman. She gonna eat that? You haven't come by at all lately. The islands had some visitors, and I welcomed them. Ah, so that's why you took out a wicker man without permission. How vexing! Sorry. Get too angry, and you'll have another dizzy spell. Who is this? My mistress, Granny Vol. She's an expert with curses and necromancy. And the islanders call her Old Lady Volvaba. She's a textbook example of an old witch with a bad reputation. Who you calling old? Yeah, this is the classical style witch here, isn't it? The necromancy and curses, hey? Interesting. You guys know I like a bit of necromancy. I'm the apprentice of Flora, the spirit of the Spirit Tree Forest, and I came to this island a few days ago. My name is Shirka. Sorry to greet you from on high. Oh, you're Flora's, are you? You're acquainted with my mistress? Did you happen to see old Master Gedfring and 2 knights? They were headed towards the Forest of Stone just now. Ugh, the Forest of Stone. Where the dwarfs are. Okay, I don't care too much for that then. Okay then, sorry to bother you, mistress. Hey, can't you help out with a magic right now and then? Later, if I feel like it. But pardon us. That no good apprentice. Maybe I'll curse her with a tail or something. How vexing. I got nervous. She's so intimidating. Well, that's because of her looks. She's actually pretty funny. But this is the first time I've ever seen her accompanied by somebody. Yeah, this black-haired girl has taken quite the interest to Shirka, hasn't she? Tell that. Just based off all that we saw from her before, which wasn't much, but yeah. Still, these visitors are connected to Flora of all people. Then there's that Skull Knight. This means the old man's dreamy nonsense is finally coming to pass. The old man's dreamy nonsense. Try and remember that later. Wow, the stone really is like a forest. From here we walk. It's too thick with barites in here. Flying gets totally exhausting. Dwarven dwellings are cramped and dark, and the doors are unreasonable and stubborn. Well, this'll tire me out. Anyway, since I don't usually use my legs. Ah, there they are. Sorry to bother you, Hannah. What does a mage want here, in the bowels of the earth? Yeah, we were all thinking Godo when the whole kind of forging and the armor and stuff came up, weren't we? We were all thinking Godo. You know what? It does look a little bit like Godo as well, finally. A little bit. Long hair, bushy, got the headband on. Rest in peace, Godo. Haven't seen that face in forever. The king, eh? Every shot of this guy is just he's so dominated, isn't he? Looks like you're still not resting in peace. That's my craftsmanship for you. So yeah, is it like the armor that's keeping him alive? Do you reckon? Is that what keeps the skeleton moving? Who knows? Thanks to you, I'm in good health. How could you be? How is it possible to be in bad health when you're dead? Is the thing. Like, what do you mean you're in good health? Oh, he's got a little chip on his skull. He's in bad health. Like, how are you meant to? What kind of bad health do you get in as a skeleton? Friend. Oh, I don't even see that. Thanks to you, I'm in good health. Friend. Good health, huh? Says you inside a coffin. This is a little like Godo and Guts' relationship earlier on. Interesting that. And maybe Skull Knight did look a little sad. Maybe I was wrong about what I said there. Because this is a similar angle and he hasn't got that kind of thing on his, like that kind of distressed look on his forehead. So maybe I was wrong about what I said earlier. I don't think anyone can actually know for sure. So, and then, I never thought I'd get to see this again, and both at the same time to boot. I could understand if he saw this armor as a failure, because it is a little bit of a failure of an armor, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, it's strong and powerful, but it's not really what you want from your armor to actually injure you. I mean, that's the complete opposite of armor. Your armor's meant to protect you, whereas this actually it physically harms you to use. Anna, as its creator, could you give the youngster a lecture on what it means to don this black armor? That ain't my style. But young'un, from the look of things, you've been using that a heck of a lot. Yeah, I've sidestepped death many times thanks to this. You have my thanks. No need for all that. You're its owner now. However, so is there a way of using this without it harming us? I mean, we've slightly seen that with Shirka helping control it, but like, is there like an actual way to use it? Have we just been missing the instruction manual? Using it ain't necessarily the same as mastering it. In fact, that thing's liable to possess its owner for the sake of consuming him. Let's see. Might as well give it a go. Oh shit. Well, this is bad news. So yeah, I'm going to do another chapter, which is going to be Death Vision. So he's actually just activated Guts' Berserker armor in one strike. Interesting. I'm telling you all, Skull Knight is the king of the ancient kingdom which was before Wyndham. I mean, we knew this. We already knew that. I didn't know that though. Oh, I didn't know that we saw him in one of the earlier panels with Griffith discussing the kingdom. We all knew this. We all knew this, right? Yeah, well, yeah, that witch does kind of look like. Is she in Breaking Bad? You know, I only recognise her from Jessica Jones, which I watched a couple seasons of, and it was pretty average. But I quite liked her. Very pretty as well. Yeah, she is a very pretty woman. I've never watched Breaking Bad. I need to watch it still. I really need to watch it. That'll be the next thing I do kind of undertake, I think. In my own time, that is. Did this happen? I don't remember this. So, apparently, I don't remember this. I thought this is something I would have remembered. Slan and Skeleton were there, and Slan greeted. Oh, I think maybe she like. It seemed like it was in a kind of jokey way, in a sense, that Slan said "Your Majesty" to Skeleton Knight, and she said "Princess." So were they actually being literal in that? Again, I thought it was like some. Again, this was a while ago, so I can't actually fully remember. But I probably would have thought of it as like some kind of wordplay, as in like they're being a bit cheeky to each other. I can especially see that with Slan, but Skeleton Knight is actually very serious all the time, isn't he? So interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mentioned this before, haven't I, about the fact about we all want to know more about Skull Knight, but we all, as much as we say we all do, perhaps we all actually don't, because he is. It's always like those mysterious characters that are always some of the best and some of the favourites, aren't they? And a lot of the time, when you actually learn the backstory and like origins of those characters, actually kind of it's not nearly as good as you'd hoping it would be, because you've got your own ideas about what it could be. So I'd like to know a little bit more. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't like to fully uncover Skull Knight, if that makes sense. I'd like to see if he's got more connections here and there, little tidbits like this. Like, I think this is pretty cool, but again, I wouldn't like the full kind of. I wouldn't like a spin-off manga about Skull Knight or anything. Maybe I would actually. I don't know. I feel that would actually be pretty cool. But maybe not. It sounds like an awesome thing, but might not actually be an awesome thing for him. Oh, I do agree with this guy. I do agree with this guy. This shit is annoying as hell. So yeah, it doesn't matter too much else in the comments, so we'll move on to the final chapter for today, which again is called Death Vision. We go. Oh, like I said in a few chapters back, I'd love it if maybe this guy can get guts to go into the dog form with the Berserker armor. I feel that'd be really cool. That was my favourite version of Berserker armor. I mean, Skull Knight's here, so I'm not too scared about what bad could happen here. I'm not scared at all, actually. Big bad Skull Knight's here to protect us. Guts! What is that? Bite down. We've seen these before as well. These are from the fucking those little goons that Mozgus had. Oh, fucking hell, I'm stiff. Oh, I think I mentioned last week about football training being back. I've done the exact same fucking thing this week on Tuesday. Last Tuesday we done again that I think it's a 30-minute workout overall with again 100 push-ups, press-ups, squats, burpees, and sit-ups. Done the exact same thing this week, but it was a little bit better, of course, just because we have a week down of training, so it was a little bit better. But even so, I'm still stiff as hell, and yeah. It was a lot. Pipe down. So as I say, only Skull Knight. This guy's got the things under control right here. But yeah, he's got the same little tongue things as the torturers that Mozgus had. Pretty cool little things, aren't they? Little hair clips. You see hair clips designed like this, don't you? We have leashed the beast, so to speak, right here. Great guru, Shirka, Morda, didn't take long to skip my class. This guy looks so disappointed. I think that's his face just all the time anyway, but yeah, didn't take long to skip class, my. Again, I love the fact that Berserk Guts has just been tied up. I just literally before booting up this, I saw a tier list. Well, not a tier list, but like a short on who the strongest characters Berserk, and it was bullshit because Guts was like number 5 or something. I don't think Guts is up there, to be honest with you. Again, there's still a little bit left of the manga. It might get more powerful, but to me, he doesn't really compare with the God Hand, which is 4 people down, like Griffith, Void and Slain and so on. Doesn't really compare with them. They said that he was 1 place above Ganishka, and again, I'm no like power scale or anything, but I'm pretty sure Ganishka would destroy Guts, right? Am I crazy in thinking that? Am I like crazy? Like the Sea God was on the list. I think many places above Zod, which also I'm pretty sure I don't like. Yeah, I feel like it's really hard to make stuff like that. Really hard to make that power scaling type stuff. But again, it's just funny because Guts was like number 5 on that list, and funny enough, he's actually just been handled by this random armor makeup. this art, if that tier list was accurate, this guy would be above Guts. He's successfully defeated Guts in his Berserker armor. What is this? What did you do to Guts? They're going to torture him? I feel like with stuff like that, it's just like, as someone who's watched a lot of media for a long time, such, it's just The strongest is whoever the writer wants to win. It's whatever the writer wants. It's not this person would absolutely be this person. It's like the power of friendship and everything. There's so many. Yeah, it's just whoever the author writes would win. So you can't really make like these tier lists and such about strength and so on. Even so, you can use some logic. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes down to it, it's all the author's choice. I figured I'd give him a look at the bloody memories dyed into this armor. At how this thing consumed the life of its former owner. Okay. Again, maybe this was a question that was... You could argue this was maybe a question that's better off not answered. It was such an intriguing mystery of like this was like you can imagine what happened. I guess they're just going to show us. But like I said, maybe it's one of those things where the imagination is better than seeing, but not always the case. Don't get me wrong. But we knew before that this was obviously Skull Knight donned this armor before, and it likely turned him into the way he is now. You can assume. But that's an assumption, so. Jeez. Holy shit. Look at this. Holy crap, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? The Japanese and their fucking tentacles. That is awesome. I love all the different types of tentacles as well. You've got like snake-like, you've got the classic kind of octopus. You got whatever this is, like eyeball, weird, spiky things, like these little finger things here. I love all the different types. Got a mouth one. So much detail. You always know that. Oh shit! Didn't even see those till now. Okay, so there's Void. Femto wouldn't be there though, right? This is in the past. So there's the little guy. The fat flying guy, is he on the right there or is he not there? Is Slain there? I feel like they're different. Like this person here looks like a candle. I feel like Void and the little guy are still there, but the others are maybe debatable. This could be the fat guy. But I feel like that could be Slain as well. Again, I'm not sure, but who the hell's that then? Who's that on the left? That Skull Knight? Kind of look like it could be Skull Knight. Holy shit. Got another big image after this. Oh god. These are horrible hair creatures roaming around in the tentacles. Oh yeah, so there is new ones. So that is not the fat guy. Wow. They're all new. Except for Void. What the hell? Holy shit. And evidently that's not Skull Knight. Holy shit. The old... Wait, so what happened to these guys? You know, this guy looks like something out of Hellraiser. A lot of stuff in this manga, I feel like it's inspired by Hellraiser and vice versa. This very much looks like something out of Hellraiser though. The mouth. Well, this woman here. Okay. So what happened to these is the question, isn't it? Like, did Skull Knight kill all these? Yeah. Okay. Okay, and of course Void is just there. Okay. Awesome artwork. I love this a lot. Nice back to back to back. We haven't had artwork in a similar fashion to this for a long while, to be fair. I say that, we had some really nice artwork during the whole Casca's Mine stuff, but barring that, it's been a while. Since Falconia was created, I believe. Guts. Looks like he's attuned to the memories. Oh, the chains are breaking. That's some serious strength. What the fuck is this? It's obviously Skull Knight on the left, but like, why is Skull Knight holding Griffith on the left? First thought is perhaps that's not Griffith, but huh. This definitely means something. I'm just not grasping it. That's not Griffith. Ah, so maybe this could explain. Maybe this could explain. She's been branded. Maybe this could explain what I was talking about earlier with why the hell is Skull Knight helping out Griffith, helping out Guts. With like, why would he help him out if he has no use for Guts? Maybe this is why. Maybe he was actually just helping out of the nicest of his heart because he went for a similar experience with a woman. Very pretty woman in that, by the way. Like, holy crap. Huh. The idea ran from my head that perhaps this could be Slain. Or maybe it could be one of these god hand we saw in the past. Who knows? Very beautiful woman though. Holy crap. Probably most beautiful woman in the series. Holy shit. Got some big old jewelry as well. Like, holy crap. I'm kind of thinking like this looks like a few characters. Like, look like it could be like a Danan. It's like this obviously like reminds me of the Lost Children and stuff, but I don't think it's got any involvement in that. It's because of the whole like butterfly stuff. Yeah, she's been branded, of course. Interesting. So I think she's dying there, isn't she? Yeah. Lovely design. And yeah, there she is dead. We saw this ages ago, didn't we? A giant symbol of sacrifice. I can't remember what it's actually called. Brand. A giant brand. Saw one he's created a while ago. There's also one in the past with Geyser, okay. What happened? He just stopped, like his chains strings snapped. Is it about time? Guts. Well, that was actually perfect. I said earlier about the fact that we don't want to like. If anything, it's actually brought up more questions, which is a good thing in my opinion. Like I said, I don't actually want too much revealed / answered, but this actually brought up actually many more questions. Funny enough, rather than answered any. A whole different god hand. What happened to these guys? Did Skull Knight kill them? Is one of these? Is this woman perhaps or maybe slain? Is perhaps that woman potentially? I think there'll be a lot of interesting, hopefully a lot of interesting kind of theories in the comments. Very interesting. Imagine it's like a time travel thing of like, this won't be the case, but Skull Knight came in to save Guts and Casca from their eclipse. What if in this we saw Guts came back to save Skull Knight from the eclipse? That would never be the case, but funny to think about. You're not half bad. You awake now? Shirker, thanks. I owe you one. This is always happens. I'm sure just now it ends. What was he about to say? What you just witnessed was the end of a once foolish king, and the beginning of a wraith wandering through an endless night. A wraith, eh? So do you reckon that was like the snapping point of like, he was obviously using the armor before this woman died, but that was like the point of like, where we see the blood coming down, it's like the point of no return. Like now he's just like full time using and abusing this armor, and that's how he turned out the way he did. Like this was like the last parts of like his full like human kind of vision, perhaps perhaps I don't know. Yeah, we'll read some comments. The beginning of a wraith wandering through the endless night. Damn, that was a hell of a chapter right there. I love that. I defied my expectations in a great way there as well. But yeah, some beautiful artwork. God damn, that was a great chapter. Fantastic chapters in general today, weren't they? Like I said, it took a bit of I wouldn't say like a downfall, but it took a little bit of a kind of with the whole Griffith Falconia stuff. It was a bit of a chill pill. There's only 15 images in this chapter, which felt well short, didn't it? But yeah, with the whole Griffith Falconia stuff, don't care too much about that in relation to this whole Casca stuff, and especially this stuff that we covered today with Skull Knight and the magic and such. I thought was fantastic. So yeah, awesome stuff. As I said, we will read some comments before I finish off though. Interesting. Because it was an eclipse and Void was there, it was probably Void's birth. So do you reckon Void? That's like, we did have that shot in the eclipse. I remember from the shot for the movie of the Void and Skull Knight having that whole kind of dimension interaction with the swords and the sword like coming out of different portals and shit. Is that what that's like based off? So like, Void was Skull Knight's Griffith to like what Femto is to Guts is what Void is to Skull Knight, do you reckon? Sorry guys, by the way. A little bit ill. But since there are different God Hands, it must have happened 4 more times than one of the God Hand died, which we don't know. But the God Hand is not common, so Skull Knight is to be over 800 years old. Okay. Yeah, that's actually an interesting point there, isn't it? The fact that because these 4 are no longer around, these four births were during the time from Skull Knight's kind of interaction with the God Hands to now. Again, it doesn't mean too much, but perhaps that might be further expanded upon. Interesting. Wow. This person, I'm not sure he knows what he's saying here. Skull Knight is guts if Casca didn't make it. What are you saying, didn't? We're not sure she still has made it, bro. Like, yes, she's still alive and we've got her memories back, but, like, very easily, like, we saw here. I'm not sure if this is a bit of foreshadowing, but we saw here Guts in the same position, but with no one in his hands. Whereas Skull Knight actually had his mistress in his hands. So this might be foreshadowing, as in Casca avoids this fate because she avoids contact with Guts. So again, it might be a great thing that Casca can't actually see Guts. Or it might be foreshadowing the fact that Guts will be in this position again. Just like Skull Knight was with Casca dying in his arms. I don't know. I wouldn't feel safe about saying stuff like this. I feel like that could very much still happen. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I said. I thought that was Griffith in his arms. So what the fuck? That would be a twist and a half, wouldn't it? Let's get Slain up real quick. Obviously, they're going to look different, but Griffith didn't look too different when he was turning to Femto. You could still had the image of Griffith. Let's get one without the boobs. So it's hard to say if they look alike, really, isn't it? Because it's quite simplistic facial features and such from her, and obviously the demonic side of Slain is the hair, and the hair is such a big factor in terms of comparing the, like, yeah, it is. Oh, here's an actual kind of. Oh, nice. I didn't mean to do this, but here's an actual comparison. You know, the hair is similar, actually, isn't it? Again, it's obviously made to look like snakes and such in the kind of demonic version. But you know what, as well? With the hand, like, creeping around, like, the shoulder, like that, it's almost like these kind of wings in a way, if that makes sense. I'm thinking more about like the jewelry and stuff. Like, is there any jewelry or anything we see on Slain that kind of? You've got this neck thing here. I don't know. Oh, it wasn't because we didn't see Slain, and the god hand is five. It's a hand. It's 5 fingers. So this, whatever this is saying, is wrong about that being the eclipse of Slain. That's just not right. Yeah, this is this theory says about that being Slain's birth, but I don't think that was the case. So I don't know. I kind of feel the more I think about this, the more I don't think this is Slain. Again, the looks wise, the similarities are there, but they're both also designed to be very beautiful women. So I don't think that's Slain, honestly. Also, is the fact that she's branded for death. Does that play a part in her not being able to become a god hand? I don't think that would, but the fact that she's been branded, to me, makes me feel like it's less likely that she became a god hand. I feel like they would have just killed her. I don't know. Yeah, actually, yeah. The more I think about it, my personal head fiction is that that's not Slain. I don't think. Could be possibilities there, of course. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Did Skull Knight kill them? What happened to these God Hand members? The only possible thing I could think of is Skull Knight killing them, so what else could? Oh yeah, let's confirm now. Well, we're not sure about well, we say this, I think it's confirmed currently for sure that Void is the oldest of them, and he seemed like the leader during the whole femto initiation and stuff. The birth, should I say. So he's the oldest currently, but is he the oldest out of all of the God Hand? Like, was there a God Hand that lived before the five that we saw here that lived for longer than Void? We don't know, but yeah, it's accurate to say that he's currently the oldest member of the God Hand for sure. And maybe you could say that his death is maybe the next to come up, considering the 4 years before died. Maybe he's the next target. I wonder how long it's been since. But probably not too long, considering the whole femto being born. But I wonder exactly how long it's been since, if and since Skull Knight killed a God Hand member again. I wouldn't have thought too long, actually. Because femto was born reasonably not long ago. I wonder if like they've got to, it's like a job they've got to fulfill the quota within like a week or something. Who knows? As I said, maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Again, I feel like the fact that we're wanting these questions, like the fact that we're bringing up these questions and thinking of these theories and such, is really awesome in itself. I feel like if we got all the answers, again, maybe some people wouldn't be happy with them, but maybe some people would actually be happy with the theories they came up in their heads as well. So again, maybe not knowing is better than knowing. I've seen a lot of comments saying they'd love to see like a spin-off or seeing how they all died and such. But again, would you? I mean, again, I said earlier, and I was proved wrong, that it might be like, yeah, I don't know. I like the fact that there's such a mystery to his character. One of the biggest parts of his character. That's funny to think about, to be fair, isn't it? What if this what if this woman that did die, what if that day Griffith was born and she is the reincarnation of Griffith? That's why they look so alike. It did look a little like Danan. I was thinking that as well. It looked like Griffith from the back, looked a little bit like Danan from the front. But again, I think they're both, as I said with Slain, they're all designed to be very beautiful women, so. Not actually too many interesting theories in the comments, just quite a lot of, yeah. Yeah, not as many interesting theories as I was hoping to see in the comments, actually. But yeah, let me know what you guys might have theorized and such in the comment section. As I said, lots to discuss. The fact that they bring up so much mystery again just makes it so awesome, because again, there's so much to discuss. If you got all the answers to all this, there wouldn't be much to discuss, would there? So yeah, do let me know what you guys thought in the comment section of these chapters in general, and again, especially your theories on this last one here, which was fantastic. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. I'll be back next week with the final 2 chapters of this volume, so I'll see you guys then, and have a good rest of your day.